we're going to discuss about the topic related to ALM basics and release. The topics will be in depth what we're going to with the ALM basics and release management. Have a brief introduction about saasguru and so what saasguru is able to do all these things. Like not only about training students and able to have job guarantee program and live classes and all these things. Moreover that, so we have so many things that saasguru can able to do. I'm working as a software engineer in Tawan. So, and I've been in Gerent Salesforce program. I've been endorsed as a Gerent Salesforce ambassador, and I worked for 2 years in Salesforce ecosystem, more than 2 years. So, and I have done 6 certifications in Salesforce ecosystem. And apart from that, I have done all these things what I displayed in the screen. I have done all these things. And apart from this, I'm so active in all the social media handles like LinkedIn, Twitter, all the things like Slack community in saasguru. So and the mail, everything. So I'm happy to help everyone. Regarding saasguru, I really like about one thing. So it's not only about learning, but it's about the implementing. So what we have learned in live classes or webinars or related to the stuff, what you bought the courses in saasguru, like admin, development, or platform builder, whatever the course it may be. So you need to able to have the hands-on. So if you're not able to have the hands-on, you'll definitely forget what you have done. So coming to the topic, we're going to discuss about the ALM basics and release management. So in this, we can able to have the hands-on after, because first 10 minutes we will be able to have this what is the ALM basics and what the application lifecycle and deployment models and all these things. And so coming to the topic mainly, so what about deployment? So how to deploy and what are the test cases and what are the application, how to use the application, how to run the application, how to build everything. I'll let you know about it here. So first of all, so what is the application development life cycle? So how it will be done? So how to deploy these things and deployment things and application development. Development and deployment are the most crucial things that are happening in the project side. Okay. So wherever you go, so these two things are very much necessary to learn. As a fresher, we don't have the hands-on, but they will not provide us the org access. Even I'm as a fresher, I haven't got the org access. Later I got the production org access. Then we should not do any of the changes as of now, because the development will be done in a we will be having 3 sprints. So in that we'll be able to know when to do, how to do, and all these things. Most probably the team lead manager, all these people, senior developers will do. As a fresher, as a developer, like Salesforce developer or software engineer, these people will be working most probably on the application, how to develop and how to write the code and how to build and how to test all these things. So coming to the point, phases of application development cycle and key milestones of application development life cycle and considerations for managing an application development life cycle. So these are all things, key things we will be able to know about this in this upcoming topic. So you can all join the Slack community also. And coming to the topic, so I'll just ping you this is the beautiful thing about Apex servers. So Amit Chaudhary sir, so he has shared an awesome flow diagram. So how to from scratch, how to do development and deployment process. So you can just follow this thing, because I personally like this. I'll follow all the MVPs, all of the mentors and all the leaders who are them so there here also one one of the group leader and one of the community leaders there, Aman Tiwari. So so he's also doing a very good job. So everything what you have, please share the knowledge with everyone so that everyone can learn together and we can grow. So I learned just from 2 years. I made it together. So I attended so many Salesforce community events and all these things. So if you want to learn and grow together, just focus on one thing, learn one topic at a time. If you learn this topic and if you just go to the recording, so this recording will be we can have it in the saasguru.co live classes. The record session will be uploaded there. Okay. So there we can also view the recording session of the previous class also. So many topics are covered in the saasguru session. We can able to view. And coming to the point, so I'll just share this link. So this is very much helpful, because this is why I'm used to have more regarding the saasguru things, because we are very much organized. Not only about the trailer links and keynotes what they're having, but see, it very much we can able to learn from scratch, because it's not only about the topics what they're covering, it's about the release types and all these things. We will be having the mainly about the topic what we are able to learn from scratch, and moreover we have to do the hands-on also. So this is the trial and problem. I'll be sharing it in the chat box. So after the completing the session, you can go through it. And so first of all, we can able to learn from like what is application deployment lifecycle. So what does it mean by? So development tools and release process used to make changes to your org. For suppose if you're having, for suppose as of now we are using, if you're a developer, whatever the role it may be, you are currently using a developer edition org. So if you want to practice it for free, so that is like login.salesforce.com. That is the developer edition org you are currently using. Okay, there you can able to practice all the trial demo files for free, absolutely for free. Okay, then so these deployment things all will be matter for the project side. Okay, I'm not like talking it for like completely for free. So these things will be helpful for the for those who are working in any of the companies like product based, service based, or whatever the company may be, MNC, startup, whatever the company may be. If you're working in a project, these things will definitely will be helpful for everyone. So and make a note of it. If you want to learn anything, make one document and like prepare one Excel sheet or notepad or whatever it may be. Save it somewhere where it will be very much helpful for you. So and the life cycle should be developed to suit the needs of your customer. For suppose if so or large organization, whatever it may be, depends. Like departments will be there, like developers or like dev or sandbox will be there. Later I'll be able to explain about the what are the sandbox and all these things. But as of now, application development cycle is most probably related to all these things related to small business, large organization, whatever the department may be. So for external also we'll be using this application development life cycle. So and change set development and or development, package development. These are the primary type of developments what we'll be having in the Salesforce ecosystem. Okay, so it depends upon the what is the company working on currently, and they will deploy regarding change sets deployment or deployment. There are different type of deployment depending upon project use cases and business requirement. They will be using these things. Okay, these things you will be able to learn by experience only. Okay, as a fresher, you can able to learn these things and you can keep it in mind as your use case will be there once you got in the project and you can have the hands on, then it will be definitely helpful for your deployment development and deployment process. Okay, and phases of application deployment life cycle. So phase of the application development life cycle, see these are the key phases what I'm trying to explain. See what saasguru has mentioned here directly, these things we can also have it in the, I have pinged in the chat box, right? So development and deployment process, same things will be able to have it here also. But if you want to remember properly and you have to have the hands-on completely. So we are having trial also. So this is the one of the beautiful like things. I mean like Amit Chaudhary sir has been providing these things. So it's completely for free. So these are the development process. How these things will work. So I cannot able to complete all these things in one go, but we are lagging behind the time. So I'll complete the saasguru session, and if you have any doubts related to anything, definitely will have all of your doubts will get clarified after this saasguru session, and as well as the link that I provided in the chat box also, development and deployment process. Just go through it, okay, in your free time. So I told you, right, key phases what we're having in the application, application development life cycle. So plan, release, okay, develop or build, test or build, release or test, release and release. So these things only we have it here, okay. So plan, code, build, test, release. Okay, these things will be there. So everyone can't able to know everything. Okay, even I don't know. See, if you ask me questions I don't know, then I'll simply let you know that I don't know. Okay, I will let you know. I have to prepare from scratch, and if I don't know anything, and I'll learn and I'll grow. So that's the thing. And coming to the point, plan, release. See, if you want to develop one release plan, for suppose if you want to have this requirement, so we'll be having some project requirements. We have to gather these things. What are the requirements? What we have to implement in the project. So specifications, requirements, all these things will be coming to the picture here. And what are the orgs will be able to helpful for the development and testing. So there are having, like I told you earlier also, they're having like multiple orgs. So what are the orgs we'll be having in here, and development and building also. So for suppose these things are helpful for the process of deployment, like deployment process. So we can able to have it here. Okay. So and test cases also we can able to have, like for suppose if you want to build like isolated development environment, assuming that the individual components are functioning correctly. So that is like unit testing. So your unit testing and functional testing, all these things will be able to have only we will able to learn, not from like outside things we can able to learn, but moreover only we'll get it once you get into the project, then only we'll get the hands on appropriately. Because as working in a team, it's very much required to have the better understanding about one on another. So what are the things we have to do in a project? So without knowing anything, we can't able to do at this test build and test release and all these things. So build release, for suppose create a release artifact like by selecting assets to including in the development. So test release and development. So these things you can able to learn. For suppose if you're fresher or like advanced in development or core to the like LWC and Apex, all these things, then you can go you can understand easily what I'm trying to tell. But if not, then you can able to have this link you can go through in free time. Definitely you'll understand all these things, because I don't know how production will work until unless I got deployed. I've been promoted as a software engineer. Then I can able to know that how the things will work out. The people will involve us once they have the trust on us. So okay, he's working very much good, so we can involve in the production also, in the integration side, in the development side. So then we can able to have this hands on. So moreover, with the help of experience only, we'll get all these things. Oh, that's the thing. And test the deployment, like deployment in a staging environment that resembles production and including full or partial production data. Okay, these things. What I'm trying to let you know, like in the below. Once the session got ended, definitely will let you know. If you have any doubts in the last 10 minutes, you can ask in the QA session. Okay, but have an interactive session. That's what I'm able to have let you know all the guys. And to test the deployment, and I told you like test the integration points by running end-to-end tests, business processes. So these things from scratch you should understand. Then only you can able to learn. So regression testing, unit testing, functional testing, performance testing, user acceptance testing, all these things will be able to learn once we able to have these trialed modules and blocks. If you able to learn, so what type of testings we will be able to learn on all these things. So these are remember the names. So nobody will ask you like what is the definition of regression testing, write it. So it's not an exam, but you should be able to know what type of regression testing in the trialed modules. You can able to have the definitions. Moreover, you can able to have the quizzes also. So that's the main thing. I also like the Salesforce ecosystem, and there are so many Salesforce community events that are happening in the ecosystem. So and release also, like we are once having that hands-on, like we can able to deploy to production. Then we can able to have the end user training to effectively manage and change and increase adoption also. So the customer will have the things. If they don't like it, then we'll have with the support team also. So they will have the simply Jira methodology, so that they can able to have the tickets raising, and after that they can close the tickets. Our team will provide the support also for the after the production also, if they have any issues for the end users. I'm talking about the so key milestones in application development lifecycle as I discussed. So gather functional requirements and design application business specifications and development like Salesforce declarative and programming features. All these things will be coming into the picture. Like currently process like including personal. These all things we'll be able to have in the Salesforce org only. So what are the use cases and what are the workflows? So currently we're not using workflows as of now. It's okay. So and write user stories and acceptance criteria, all these things. And if you are able to have, if you want to have this, what I'm like explaining you all guys. So if you want to have this thing, what I'm trying to tell. So if you want to access to it, then you should able to like buy this course. So in the last 10 minutes, I'll be able to explain reveal the coupon code what I'm having for saasguru. For Salesforce certification courses only, you can able to use that code. Okay, so you'll get some discount. Then you can have this you can get this study plan. So moreover, getting into the like unit testing and functional testing, as I told you earlier, like UAT, like end user testing. So communication plan and end user training and release features and notify users. So unit testing and functional testing is like before the code can be deployed to production org. For suppose if I'm saying developer org or QA org, pre-prod and UAT, we can also like name it as production. So these type of things will be there depending upon the project criteria. So everything what you have to deploy. For suppose if you want to deploying from developer org to QA org, okay. So then definitely the code coverage should be 75%. Then only it will have the like pass percentage. Otherwise it will fail. So that's in Salesforce ecosystem you should have at least 75% of code coverage. Then only it will get deployed. So passing the 75% is not at all easy, but in some use cases you can able to have it. But yeah, 74%, 73% also it will got failed. So 75% of code coverage should be done, and we need not able to have the 100% of code coverage or 90%. 70% is the minimum required. More than that, it's very much happy. And functional testing can be performed by QA team only. Okay, like so to test the technical processes. So the functional testing is all done by QA team only. Okay. So they are like bridge for us, like for developers and like production. Between them, like QA is like a bridge. So without crossing the bridge, we cannot able to deploy. So that's the thing. And UAT, like end user testing. So that is like after the deployment has been done, like end-to-end testing by the system users. Okay. And following test scripts, for suppose the test scripts will be written by the QA, so like quality engineer, and after that, to confirm that the acceptance criteria is met and the functionality delivered is fit for purpose. So these all things will be able to test by the end users. And communication plan and end user training. So in some cases, what I explained, like for suppose if you're talking to the client, so not directly to the client, so some other like 2 to 3 members will be there depending upon the project. So they will be taking up the charge. So between client and us, they'll be having third party members also, like they'll be working for another company, but they'll be involved in this project. So those are like bridge to us. So they will communicate what the client is trying to let us know. So what are the changes they want to know. So we have to communicate them properly, and we have to give the training what you've done, what the work does on, what are the things we have worked on, and what the deployment has been done, and what are the issues we has been raised, bugs or anything related to anything. So communication is also very much required of what the dates what you're mentioning. For suppose if you are having, so for example for me, next week we are having a release. Okay, what about the release? What have to deploy the things? So how many tickets you have been deployed? Regarding Jira, I'm talking. So Jira is like a it's completely like agile methodology. So we can able to work, or we can able to all the project management things will be able to help with the help of Jira. So these things will be very much helpful. And apart from that, also training will ideally be performed on an org that is partial or full replica. So for example, if a issue has been came in the development org, so we can able to replicate that issue. So first we have to replicate that issue in the development org. Then we have to fix the root cause. So first we have to find the root cause of it. Then we have to fix that. After that, we can able to replicate it in the same in QA. So how we can it's the behavior of the issue will be same, or it's different from QA. Like it's different from developer org. Then we should check it. After finding the root cause, then we should fix it and we should deploy it in the QA org. Then it will be like UAT and production. Like before that also pre-prod will be there and UAT will be there. And release features also, and like notify users. So on successful deployment, we should send a notification to clients and managers, all these things regarding the production deployment has been successfully done on the production org. So we should send a mail. So that's like is completed the release feature, and communication should be done, and users can be notified and resume. So we should notify to them and resume, like business as usual. We'll have the activities will be done, but depending upon the development and deployment, we should be very much cautious. So how the things are going on. So one issue can make us very much irregular about our work. So it should be very much cautious. And regarding the release types also, we having the release type, we can able to have the 3 categories. That's like patch, bug fixes, and minor change with limited impact, and major changes with significant impact. So these are the priority tickets. For suppose if you're having any type of work, we will be able to, once you got the deployed into the project, and once you are very much good on the hands-on, and you got trust from the manager, so that he'll be appointing you as like a you can able to do the development. So he will try for you, and if he give a chance to you, and if you done the development at good work, so then what are the things you will be able to looking upon. So the issues, it will be like critical. Sometimes the critical tickets will be there. Then we should work like in the release only. We should work. So before coming into the like deployment only, if we can't able to find out the issues, it depends upon the QA and developer. So in what org it will be getting the issues are coming on. Then users, what are the issues are we are paying. So limited impact and significant impact. These are the 2 things we can able to learn. So at end users only we can able to have after the deployment. So patch bug fixes, so that it can include such as reports, dashboards, list views, and email templates, and all these things. So it requires also isolated testing also. These all things will be helpful for the functional testing and isolated testing and all these things related to unit testing. And it can be deployed more frequently because they're typically smaller changes. For suppose if you do small change also in the code, you should write it there in the hashes. You should write it so that in the next developer they should know. So yeah, okay, like Sukesh have changes something in this code, so that in the next people they should know. So if you're switching from one company to other company, or one project to another project, if you're leaving this project, you should give the appropriate KT to another people who are coming in, so that they can able to have the good knowledge what they are having to do. Even if they don't know, if simply they watch the KT videos, and they can have the project once they deployed in the product, they will not blame anyone, but they should blame themselves only, because without having the proper KT, we cannot able to work properly. So first of all, we should understand the platform, what our application is working on, what we used to offer. If you use the if you have to have the what the application is working on in similar way, then we can use it in the appropriate ways, that what the user requirements will be having. And minor change, like for suppose provide benefits to end users to have issues resolved more regularly than the full release cycle. For suppose if you have the minor changes like that's like small changes, we can be able to have this in the goodwill policy. What I'm tracking with the goodwill means that, see, we cannot able to charge the client that, oh, we are having these many changes, so those are like minor changes. So if the requirement is very much high and critical, then we can able to have the conversation with the client that, so these are the requirements our developers are working on. So if they have to change all these code fixes and all these things, it's completely fine. But overwriting the code and it's about the deployment in all the three orgs, it will be very much difficult. So they will ask something regarding to the client. So they will charge something in dollars, or it may be euros, or yeah, what are the product maybe. So yeah, it depending upon the country what we are like working on the project. And major changes with significant impact also. So these are like limited and these are like significant. So critical tickets we will be working on, like we have to take the issue on our name, and we have to work it on, and we have to do some progress, and we have to communicate with our team, and we have to develop this thing, and we have to deploy that thing. So yeah, moreover, solving an issue is more important, but first of all, we should understand what the requirement is. Then only we can able to have the root cause of it, and we can find the root cause, we can able to solve it. And for the end user, it will be very much complicated. While you're trying to explain it also, like do them like let them know that what you have done. So sometimes it's like a smaller change, or it's like a major change, but it depends upon your conversation what you're able to build. And coming to the application like development lifecycle with multiple sandboxes. So these are the things I want to let you know, guys. So plan, build, test, build, release, and these things previously we have like explained, like test, release, and release. So in same way it will be happening here also. So how we will start, or if it not got deployed, or the unit test got failed, what it will go, and again it will go to the sandbox related to dev sandbox. So then we have to develop these things. We have to solve the, like we have to think, and we have to have the solution for this issue. Then we have to have the QA will perform the like after we are performing the unit test, if we pass, it's okay. So we'll go to the source from, retrieve the source from code from org, then commit code in the feature branch, and all these things. Like this is like QA. So what I'm trying to like start testing, QA pass, in QA pass, UAT pass, all these things. These things will be helpful for QA people. So the developers will be having this from plan. So we have to build that idea, guys. Okay. So people will be working on like implementation team, development team, like support team, admin support, development support. So depending upon the things what you're working on, you can able to capable of doing the things in multiple way. So for suppose if you're only allocated to only integration purpose, then you should not only know about integration. What are the things we'll be having if you don't know about multiple things about integration? For suppose REST API, SOAP API, bulk API, all these things are completely fine. But if you don't know how to deploy, even if you're having 2 years or 3 years of experience, then you can't able to sustain in the industry, because you should update yourself in a quick way, that your senior developers or your TL, team leader or manager, all these people should have eye on you. Okay, Sukesh is working like team only. He's getting good experience. So all these things we should able to capture all of our eyes on us, so that we can able to have the role will change, the package will change, and we will have the good learning also. So yeah, all the people who are having the experience or don't having experience also, we should able to learn how development and deployment process will have, and what are the sandboxes will be able to have. So plan and build. So these two things are very much helpful and critical to learn. And test and build, release. So this flow diagram will be very much helpful, guys. Like if you're able to just spend 5 to 10 minutes, that's it. I think it will take 15 minutes, guys. So if you take 15 minutes, so it will be very much helpful. And what are the Salesforce reaction? All these things are there here. DevOps, and what are the things we have to do, the development process and deployment things, and all the things are there here. And yeah, so yeah, we all cannot be like all the people will have the same IQ or knowledge power to have the grasping that what I'm trying to take, because even I'm also a slow learner from scratch. I will go through the content by 2 to 3 times at least, so that for the better understanding. So first we should have the learning or KT, what you call, like then only we can able to discuss with others. So without knowing anything, we can't able to ask the outside. So even if we ask the doubts, we cannot. What he's trying to say, will not get it. So first understand the concept and all the things. If you don't have related hands-on or what development and deployment, then go to the trialed modules and go to the blocks that are having in the like so many MVPs, so many leaders. They're sharing so much of knowledge in all the trial community events. And apart from that, saasguru is also very much organized, because why means the topic is also change the deployment model and manage and unmanaged package deployment tools, sandboxes, and types. This is all about stage 5, like app development. I'm trying to, because I have done so many sessions on saasguru. I'm just exploring more and more on saasguru. Even I'm finding more content. They're experiencing more in related to experience. Growing from, first of all, they have that admin courses like development, now platform builder, and now recently they have sharing and visibility, all these things. So just install the saasguru app in Play Store or App Store, and you can have simply learn it on mobile only. Don't always put your laptop on, and you can, like, in free time also, you can go through the mobile app that are having saasguru, and you can have the related, you can study in the free time. And trust list, like these things I'll let you know, like these things, what they're trying to tell, these the flow diagram, we can able to easily like have the understanding what test release and release and all these things. So I'll let you know all that, like why is saasguru, one question. So to me also, what are the insights they are providing, why they are providing the insights. So these are the beautiful things what saasguru provide. Because see, I'm not always after saasguru, because see, you can have up to 25 scratch offs at to at a time. These are the keynotes, and we can able to remember. So these things we can able to know all this, but in Google or wherever you go on any website or anything, there are multiple things at a time. See, if you search on anything related to saasguru, there multiple things will be coming. But whereas in saasguru website or the app, they very much organized, and we can able to learn one concept at a time. And we can have the timings also. Like, for suppose we can put some learning program timings, and we can have this learning here also. So you can have up to 25 scratch offs active at a time. I'm only talking about the scratch offs, okay? 25 scratch offs active at a time in Salesforce Ecosystem, okay? So scratch offs automatically expire after 7 days. See, for suppose if you want to have the, if you create one scratch org, and if you want to do the hands-on from scratch, and after 7 days, if it's not if it's active, it's fine. But if it's not active, it'll expire in 7 days. So ensure your code is synced and with the main development brand. And a scratch or configuration file be used to set a baseline build, such as licensing and the metadata. And a good Salesforce version controller system can manage all the directories, like files, and as well as the individual changes to the files and code from time to time. From time to time, we should be able to things. We have to work the things properly, so that if there is any problem also at one point of time, it becomes easier for developer to find the root cause. As I told you earlier, also we can spot the bugs where we have experienced it. So that's the thing. Multiple tickets will not get deployed. I mean, like, I'm not talking about the issues they are raised by the developer or QA people, but I'm trying to let you know, guys, like how the development will be done. So a lot of tickets or a lot of issues who has been that has been the issue has been fixed. They'll not deployed in one go. See, they'll release the plan in weeks time. These weeks, many tickets, like in month, we'll be having at least 1 or 2 weeks. In 1 month, we'll be having 2 times of release or 1 time of release. In one go, they will not push every ticket into like a deployment. So we can able to find the root cause of the problem. If one ticket got missed, I mean, it doesn't got deployed properly, what the issue of it, what the root cause, and what the bugs the developer is going to miss, all these things. Also, you can go back to the any stage, like revert and earlier existing version also. So it's also regarding about the updating of the version also. So what are the right versions we are currently working on? Updating, once the version got updated, we have to test very well. I mean, like, I'm not talking about like developer, but QA has to test the things from scratch. Everything they have to test. So example, like GitHub using mm, in our company, like in our project, we'll be able to deploy the things with Bitbucket and AutoRabbit. There are so many deployment tools we'll be having and migration to all those things. So use cases what currently we're having in these things, like in application deployment cycle. So Cosmo property, this is just a use case. So use case properly, what this is like a requirement. So if something comes under for us, it's like a requirement, then we have to have the solution. So what is the solution we'll be having for this use case? And apart from the solution, why? So why we have given this solution for the use case? So Cosmo Property has a procurement, like a procurement department that buys land for commercial or residential development. So this group uses Salesforce for context. Okay. So we can say that Salesforce for context, but tracks these procurements and complex calculations offline in spreadsheets also. So how can application lifecycle management be applied to integrate this department into the org? Like I suggested that the suggested solution will use accounts, contact, opportunities, custom objects, and custom lightning components. That is like LWC for an app calculator. So probably see contacts and accounts, all these are like standard objects that are currently available in the like Salesforce. In Java operational Salesforce will be available for all these standard objects. So it will also be helpful with the custom objects also and LWC for an app in-app calculator. So why the solution? What will be using the scratch-offs? See, scratch-offs can be used to develop the configuration. So if you want to do, for suppose, if I'm giving a demo to my friends or in my office, I'm giving an demo. So regarding any one of the topic in Salesforce, so then I'll create one scratch-off and I will have the hands-on from scratch because what I'm trying to let them, because in my previous org, what I'm currently working in my like personal org or the in office org, that is like Tavant org, I cannot able to show everything to them. So in scratch org will be everything from scratch. Like we can't able to have anything in it. So no sharing setting, no permission settings, whatever it may. So no flows, nothing. So we don't have any restrictions also, any validation rules, nothing. So Scratch can be used for to develop the configuration and functionality for different objects and components. So the code can be merged into a sandbox for testing to ensure that the individual assets are integrated between each other and as well as the existing org also. For existing org also we can able to do that is like existing Scratch org. Okay. And once passed testing, that full development can be released at a tagging environment. So where the procurement users can be trained on running their business process in Salesforce. So before the release into production also, we can able to do it. So why we have only selected for the scratch off, like why you choose in the for this use case we have chosen the scratch off. This process describes like application development lifecycle. So that safely integrates new functionality into existing org also. So if we take in the new functionality related to any scratch org, so from scratch org, a new functionality we can able to have it in the like integrate within in the existing org also. In our existing Salesforce org also, we can able to integrate the new functionality what we're trying to have. And yeah, and we can also able to manage the manage changes to onboard a new department onto an existing Salesforce platform also. So these are the things. I'm like just a second. And so many people are asking how to access to the previous recorded classes in saasguru. So for suppose if you're getting to know about the flows topics, what are the classes that are upcoming, you can register in the saasguru. I'll show you right away. So how to register for the class and how to get the recordings that are of the previous class. So these are the live classes we are having currently in the saasguru website. So these are the we can go to the upcoming classes and see for upcoming classes uh, yeah, Aman Tiwari. So he's currently has joined the session. So he's teaching about he's explaining about the Salesforce flows, like exploring exception handling and all these things. So so many all the people who are having experience in Salesforce ecosystem, they sharing the knowledge by having with the help of saasguru. So that it's like a bridge for us, saasguru. And in this mentor connect, see, like there are so many people, Aman Tiwari, like Sujay, and all the people are having, and everyone are having here. So we can able to, we can, if you want to interact with any of them. So if you want to have personal help relating any query or any development things or admin or anything related to Salesforce, you can reach out to any of them. So you can just click on the connect and you can able to have, you can book your slot. This is how Slack community will be there. So saasguru Slack community. So if you want to ask anyone, see, there is so many channels here: general, asker, helper, book a mentor, all the things. So anyone, see, if you didn't get reply, also see, how can I help a mentor? See, see, Amadeva has been, Pratik has reached out. So everyone will get help. Okay. So we'll have so many games and all these things. Definitely, Slack community is more helpful. So if you have any queries related to anything related in saasguru, not only in saasguru like Salesforce, definitely you can ping in the chat box. Sorry, you can ping in this channel. You can once you join this channel, you can ping in any of the channels related to it. Then definitely you'll get reply. And I only suggest one thing, like learning is a process, so we don't stop learning. That's what I'm thinking. See, even if I'm on bench or if I'm not in project, also I'll do the self learning. So yeah, so think around yourself, like technology is evolving, and moreover we should update our skills. So if you know only admin or development, it's not good. Learn marketing cloud, learn MuleSoft, learn service cloud, do certifications, interact with people, all the things. Whatever you have, like interact. Moreover, networking is the good thing to have. So wherever I go, I do networking. So talk to people like who are experienced or freshers, everyone. You don't know what someone is getting, like what someone is capable of doing. So that's the thing. And that's all from my side. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to me, like in my social media. I'm very much happy to help.